this just a really basic question about British Columbia. Do you have a personal favorite place or thing to do or anywhere here?
Well, you know, there are so many amazing things in British Columbia. I admit to having a deep affection for the dry interior of the state.
I live really close to the beach. I love to be able to just walk down and get that beautiful picturesque view of the beach and the mountains and the downtown skyline.
Explore the city. It's such a beautiful city. And I moved here from Fraser Valley, so used to farmland and also a lot of nature. And it's really important to me that we do keep Vancouver as spectacular as it really is.
I spend my summers in, well, all of my summers.
Do you have a favorite thing
my summers
about
British Columbia would probably be
well, I live in the commercial drive area.
beaches, the mountains, especially Whistler.
I guess
Well, Vancouver
Trees,
well, I went to the
most favorite thing I like to do is to get out to
we were able to study, because in my program we get to study successions in
seawall, there's my wall.
and how the history of the whole area is.
an idea where they plan to be sold?
Angela, what is your favorite thing about British Columbia?
Well, I just love the natural beauty that surrounds us, the beaches, the forests, and it's just this great culture here. And I think we need to preserve a lot of the beauty that we have. Yeah.
That's right. One of the problems is that current landfills are filling up. What do you think we could do?
It was from the Ministry of Environment or something that released something talking about garbage becoming a green renewable energy source. Thoughts on making that thing actually come out in paper and if you disagree,
I'm amazed that anybody would even make such a claim, and I think the general public is smart enough to see through it. I mean, the reason why we call it garbage is because it's dirty stuff that we don't want. You know, so how that's green, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge concern, and as Vancouver's only going to grow, population-wise, we really need to think of something now before it becomes too late. We've got a beautiful city surrounded by water and mountains, and we really should be keeping it gorgeous and also being socially responsible and not trucking our garbage elsewhere.
I guess the main thing with garbage is that it always has to be first produced. I think in most cases, most garbage are actually produced for the exact purpose of being tossed away after. It's something that just has absolutely no reuse value, either because it is created to be overly specific, like say a hard plastic wrapper for something that only fits that something, and you won't be able to use that for anything else ever again, unless you reprocess it.
I mean, unfortunately, garbage to me is when something has reached the end of its life cycle, when it is of no longer of any use to someone. However, that's a really vague definition, because sometimes even when you're done with something, it still can be used to be recycled and be produced into something else. Okay, you have a product and it doesn't become waste until it reaches the end of its life cycle. So until it is of no longer of value.
So the life cycle of a product, it's got to be created. So that's transportation energy. You need the energy from gathering raw resources and processing these raw resources, and fabrication, transportation to where they're being sold, you know, individually wrapped and then unwrapped from people, sold, distributed, and then at the end they're used, and a lot of people just throw them out. Really, there should be some way to keep these in the system so that in future times you don't need that energy to extract virgin resources. And it's really great with aluminum cans and the return it system. They save 95% of the energy that it takes to actually create an aluminum can just by recycling one that's already been in that form.
I mean, as much as we continue to produce garbage, it's not something that renews itself. It's not a naturally renewing process. It is something that once its life cycle is over, that's where waste is generated. And although we can use it to produce energy, the other aspects that are involved with the production of energy using waste don't make the process worth it.
Well, it's not renewable in any sense, because we're generating garbage through actually laziness within our societies, and it's not renewable in the sense that wood, which you burn to make energy, and the trees regrow, is renewable. There's a cyclicality to that. Garbage streams are not renewable in any sense of the proper sense of the word, and there are industries and municipalities that are co-opting their words green energy and renewable energy in order to justify not doing the proper thing, which is to reduce the amount of garbage. And
You recover something from the waste, but really, in the end, waste, the energy put into producing all that waste is a lot more than what you'll get out of it. So
I think the sort of the basic logic behind that argument is, well, it's something that we're no longer using. So if we're giving it some other productive use, it's kind of seen in the same way we look at recycling or something, you know. But the problem is that really what it is speeding up entropy. It's taking something and expelling all of its useful quality instantaneously, as opposed to actually stretching out its productive use over as long a period of time as possible. So it's actually the antithesis of doing something that's sustainable. The problem is that the existing system we have is so fundamentally unsustainable that somehow that they can say, well, this would be a step in the right direction, which it isn't. It actually is a step even further in the wrong direction. But when you're already so far off base, it's hard to see up from down sometimes.